trying to pretend the feeling I haven't had since we parted. It's you that I need, you're all that I ever wanted. I went astray to see what I could find for me to do something like this. I must have been out of my mind, 'cause I'm feeling like winter. Ever since I went astray, feeling like loneliness. In the worst way, I'm feeling like heartache. A heart that's about to break, because I'm down on my knees and I'm begging you, please renew your right spirit in me. 'Cause I'm feeling like winter. In my background sing winter. Purge me with hyssop.
That's what I'm talking about, men of standard. Yes. Song called Winter. You know what I mean? I'm going to start bumping some gospel. You know, we're going to get back to some spirituality. All right. 1 second. Let me close my front door so we can hear. And I had to go here, right? And I've done this before. And I was watching fake Dr. Ali Muhammad expose the Moors and Noble Drew Ali, which I've done before, but it's not about me exposing anyone. I just want to clarify. Listen to what I'm saying. I just want to clarify who the Moors is. Because people get caught up in the etymology of the word Moor. That's how a lot of the Moors and elders back in the day tricked you guys. They tricked you because they never explained or asked who the Moors were or showed you who the Moors were. What they did is trick you into going into the etymology of the word Moor, which basically just means dark. But it doesn't say who the Moors are. So for right now, to get this understanding and clarity, get out of your head, get out of your mind, get out of your brain the etymology of the word Moor. We're talking about who the Moors are, not the etymology of the word. We're not doing the tricks today. I'm banishing all the tricks, and we're going to focus, and I'm just letting you know how you got tricked into thinking the Moors were black people. You got tricked. And Chief X is the only one ever in the conscious community to give clarity to who the Moors are and give clarity to this subject. This is not going to be long. It's going to be very good, important, and from the rest of your life, you will now know who the Moors are. And you will know, you know what? Chief X clarified that for me. The wise man Chief X clarified this for me, and I will no longer believe that bullshit that I was brainwashed about. Okay? First of all, Moors are not black people. They never were. Moors are, because we're talking about who the Moors are. Fuck that etymology bullshit y'all got caught up in. Who the Moors are. The Moors are Berbers and Arabs. Or you can say North African Muslims in a time period from 700 to say 1400, they called them Moors. Moors or Arabs and Berbers are the ones who conquered the Iberian Peninsula or Spain, to be clear. Okay? The Moors are Berbers and Arabs who conquered the Iberian Peninsula starting in 700 AD. Okay? Sub-Saharan Africans, which is me, my bloodline, and 90% of the people listening to me are Sub-Saharan Africans. We're not North Africans. We're Sub-Saharan Africans. North Africa has never been Black Africa. Only Sub-Saharan Africa and East Africa was Black Africa and is Black Africa. North Africa is not and never has been Black Africa. So sometimes when people hear the word African, they think black, kinky-haired people. But there are other people on the continent who have been on the continent for 30,000 years, and those are people called North Africans. North Africans are not Black Africans. Okay? Let's be clear and get that understanding in your head. North Africa has never, ever, 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 ever been Black Africa. Okay? It has always been, I'm not saying white as in German or European. I just use white Africa and Black Africa just to juxtapose the terms or contrast the terms. Okay? Okay, so North Africa, white Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa and East Africa is Black Africa. Okay? Now, let's go. This says, well, let's just define who the Moors are, first of all. Now, let me blow this up so you guys can see. We're having class. Since nobody else will tell you, Chief X got to tell you. Okay? Moors. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, the article is about a historical group of Muslims, okay, North African Muslims, or I like to say Northwest African Muslims. Okay, we're not that. We're Sub-Saharan Africans. Follow me. The term Moor is an exonym first used by Christian Europeans to designate Muslim inhabitants of the Maghreb, Iberian Peninsula. When you hear Maghreb, think Morocco, okay? Muslim inhabitants of the Maghreb, the Iberian Peninsula, Sicily, and Malta during the Middle Ages. The Moors initially were indigenous Maghrebine Berbers. The name was later also applied to Arabs and Arabized Iberians. Have you seen anywhere that says Sub-Saharan Africa yet? Or East Africans? Or Central Africans? Nope. Moors are Arab and Berber Muslims, okay? The Moors initially were the indigenous Maghrebine Berbers. The name was later applied to Arabs and Arabized Iberians. Moors are not a distinct or self-defined people. The 1911 encyclopedia observed that the term had no real ethnological value. Europeans of the Middle Ages and early modern period variously applied the name to Arabs, North African Berbers. North African Berbers. We're Sub-Saharan Africans, as well as Muslim Europeans, okay? The term has been used in Europe in a broader, somewhat derogatory sense to refer to Muslims in general, especially of the Arab or Berber descent, whether living in Spain or North Africa. During the colonial era, the Portuguese introduced the name Ceylon Moors, Indian Moors, and South Asian Sri Lanka and Bengali Muslims were also called Moors. Okay? So it's just giving you a history. In 1711, troops mostly formed by Moors from northern Africa led the Umayyad conquest of Hispania, Spain, Iberian Peninsula. The Iberian Peninsula then came to be known in classical Arabic as Al-Andalus, which is its peak to clear. Okay, so we're clear now that the Moors are the people who conquered Spain, the Iberian Peninsula. Moors from North Africa led by the Umayyad conquest of Hispania. Okay, we're clear on who the Moor is. Let's look at some pictures. Okay, Castilian ambassadors attempting to convince Moorish Almohad King Abu Hafs Umar al-Murtado to join their alliance. Okay, these are pictures of Moors. They're not black people. They never were black people. Here's some Moors, a Christian and a Moor playing chess. Here's a picture. Here's a Spanish Christian, and here's an Arabic Moor with the red beard. We'll get see this other picture a little closer as I go along. An Arab, a Spanish Christian. Okay. Let's just check a few more pictures real quick before we bounce to something else. Okay. Morals White Christian Festival in Olivia. Okay. The Great Mosque of Cairo was founded by the Arab general. It didn't say sub-Saharan general. Okay. Some more artwork depiction of the Moors in Iberia. Okay. You don't see no black folk here. But we're going to get to the black folk. Okay. Okay. So now we understand who a Moor is by the definition. We're not talking about the etymology of words. That's a different topic that they tricked you with. Now, we also have black Moors, but I'll get into that later. Who the Moors really were, okay? This is an anthropologist blog, okay? There are several works of art from the Moorish occupation of Spain, once called Cantigas de Santa Maria, from the region of Alfonso the X, and the Book of Games, also the same here. Okay, blah, 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 blah. These two books were written and illustrated by the Spanish. There are a few images illustrated by the Moors themselves in the Table of Bayet, Riyadh, from the 13th century, and an 11th century illustrated book called Skylights Chronicle by Medieval. Okay, let me just move on. Okay, these are Moors. Now, in this old artwork picture, okay, you see one black man in this, of all this Moorish army. One black man right here. Bam. If you can see my thing. And guess what he got in his hand? A stick, as if he's rowing the boat. Anybody else rowing the boat? Okay, so black were enslaved by Arabs and Berbers. Okay? They took on sub-Saharan slaves. This is a sub-Saharan African right here. And he's rowing the boat. Okay? So when people talk about the Moors in the army, they were only about 10% in the army, and they were servants from sub-Saharan Africa. Okay? Let's move on. Here goes another picture of one black man amongst about 10 of them. Okay? And he also has a stick in his hand rowing a boat. Okay? It can be clearly seen that one of the Moros is black, but black Moros are a small minority of the Moorish army seen in these old illustrations. Okay? Now, here's another illustration that has about 3 blacks in it, right? And 2 of the blacks are in the back on foot, while these are on horses. Okay? You know, in American slavery, sometimes the old slave masters be on a horse, and the slaves stuff be walking. Okay? Again, about 3 black Moors in this group of clearly Arabic soldiers. Okay? It's about 3 of them in here with all these Arabic soldiers. Okay? Because Arabs and Berbers are the Moors, not black people. Not African Americans, not sub-Saharan Africans. Okay? The Book of Games. Okay? Now, here's that picture I showed where they were playing chess. A Spanish Christian, because the Arabs, this Arab guy, they all conquered the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, politically and stuff. So here they are playing chess together, and you see he has a red beard. You know, a lot of the Arabs have them red beards, them dyed beards, okay? This shows a Spaniard playing chess with an Arab with a turban. They didn't wear fezzes, they wore turbans. Just like Blackamoor artwork, they wore turbans. But that's another subject. We're going to get to that. Follow me and listen closely. Okay? Here goes some more Moors. Ancient artwork. These are the Moors. They were not black people. We had nothing to do with Spain at all. We didn't conquer Spain at all. As you can see from the other images, black African Moors seem to be about 10%. 10% of the total army. And they were servants in the army. Here is how the Moors depicted themselves in the Tale of Bayat in Riyadh. Here they go. Arabic writing. Goddamn. The Arabs and Berbers. There are several DNA studies showing the genetic legacy of Berbers and Arabs in Southern Europe, one of which I have on this link, right? When you click the link, it breaks down Berber and Arab DNA in Europe from the Moorish occupation, okay? We have analyzed Y chromosome in the Western Mediterranean area. It just breaks it all down from North Africa to Southern Mediterranean of Occidental Europe. You know what I mean? It's letting you know. It's predominant in Berber population of Morocco, 63%, was also found at high frequencies in southern Portugal, 39%, in Andalusia, 25%, the Arab subhaplotype VA predominant in Algeria, 53% in Tunisia, 50% was also found at the relatively high frequency in Sicily and Naples. You know what I mean? These are European nations and Mediterraneans and North Africans. Okay? So let's go back. We're going to clarify this shit. Y'all got to stop it. If y'all want to clean up shit, let's just clean it all up. Let's just really put all the truth out there. Some of y'all may have to leave your religion. You might have to leave the Moorish Science Temple of America. Once you know, most Moors know this shit. They've been in 8 debates and lost all 8 of them. I mean, goddamn. This makes the etymology of the word Moor coming from the Greek word for dark, not black. Okay? They fucked you with the etymology, a Greek word meaning dark, not black, as rather dubious, as the Greeks already had a name for the area, Libya. This makes it quite possible that the Phoenicians named the area Mahar, the western lands, as the newly conquered lands were indeed west of their homeland of Canaan, and were the furthest lands in the west in their world. Mauritania is quite possibly a Romanized version of the Semitic name for the Maghreb. When you think of Maghreb, think Morocco. The Moors, mostly not black, okay? Okay, so let's just look. This is what Moors look like. Most of them have turbans. I don't know why they threw this picture in there. But you'll see they'll have turbans. 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 Not fezzes, okay? This is what North Africans look like right here. We are not North African. All these people are African, indigenous Africans. All of Africa is not nappy-head black people. North Africa is not nappy-head black people. Okay, modern Moors in Morocco. This is how they look. That's not you. Okay? Okay, so let's move on real quick. Let me just do this real quick. Now, so I was saying that the Moors between 700 and just say 1500. Okay, that's who a Moor was, Arabs and Berbers. Now we get over to the word blackamoor. The word blackamoor came later, for by Europeans. And a blackamoor is simply artwork or art figurines. People confuse blackamoor with Moor. It's a different. So separate the two in your mind, okay? Now, blackamoors are artwork and jewelry, right? You see? Blackamoor. Decorative arts. It's exotic artwork, figurines, and jewelry of very dark-skinned Africans, as in a servitude position, as servants, right? So this is artwork and jewelry. They're not saying he's a Moor. They call these people blackamoors as an insulting word. So if somebody says blackamoor, it's kind of an insult, but kind of not, but it's kind of an insult. They don't mean Moor. It's a different thing that came around way later in the the 16th century. This is after the 700 to 1400 time period. The 16th century, they just called these figurines blackamoors, and they were servants, right? Look right here what it says. Let me just blow this up so you can see. It's artwork. It's a statue right here. A typical blackamoor sculpture in a servant role. Okay? Let me make this a little smaller again. Okay, so blackamoor is a, let me make sure everybody can read this so we're not confused. Blackamoor is a type of figure in European decorative art from early modern period, depicting a black man. Common examples of items and objects decorated in the blackamoor style include sculpture, jewelry, and furniture. Typically, the sculpted figures carried something such as candles or tray. They were thus an exotic and lightweight variant for the atlas in architecture and decorative arts, especially popular in the Rococo period. Okay, the term blackamoor or black Moor was once a general term for black people in English, formerly without depreciatory force, as the OED puts it. The style is not viewed by some. The style is now viewed by some as a racist. A racist and culturally insensitive. As racist and culturally insensitive. However, blackamoor pieces are still widely produced, mainly in Venice, Italy. Okay? So this has nothing to do with Spain and Arabs conquering Iberian Peninsula. It's a different thing that people got confused, okay? Or some of the elders intentionally confused you. In jewelry, blackamoor figurines usually appear in antique Venetian earrings, bracelets, cufflinks, and brooches. Blackamoor jewelry is also traditionally produced based on legend found in Reiki, such as earrings. Okay, so we understand that it's jewelry, right? How I got this. I was looking at mics for when I start YouTubing. I want to have me a nice mic. But let me get off that. Okay, let's do this. Oops. Okay, here we go. These are what we call blackamoor images, right? These are servants. They're jewelry and artwork of servants. Look, they are servants. This is all jewelry and artwork. It's not Moors, it's just blackamoor jewelry that they later call. Like, here goes the European queen, which she has right here. It's a brooch. It's artwork. This is the Queen of England. What's her name? Megan's mama, I think. She has a blackamoor right here on her dress. Later, Europeans used the term blackamoor to refer to jewelry and art. But African Americans are so brainwashed and confused, they're thinking blackamoor means more. It's a total different thing, right? Look, these are all servants. Look, they're as servants. This is blackamoor artwork. Blackamoor is not a people. It's artwork of very dark, exotic Africans as servants. Okay? These are servants. It's exotic. A lot of this stuff is expensive. Somebody was supposed to, I was going to buy one from somebody. Look. So let's just visit this site right here. So it's telling you there's no excuses for buying or decorating with blackamoors. Can you see? The figurines are a clear symbol of centuries of racism. So blackamoor and Moors, two totally different things. There go blackamoor artwork, a table. It's furniture also. Okay, so this is blackamoor furniture. And it's sitting on top of his head. Okay? So, this is not what I'm trying to get to. And maybe I can find it right here. Okay. So, wait a minute. Here we go. Okay, so bottom line, I just made this to clarify again. If people in the community are calling themselves Moors, they are just confused. They belong to the cult that Noble Drew Ali started, which is a religious movement in America. But you know, at that time, they were talking to uneducated Black Americans who were looking for an identity. And these uneducated Black Americans fell into the cult because they were being taught lessons from Arabized people. And they just embraced the Moorish Science Temple of America and started calling themselves Moors. They had no clue at that time what they were calling themselves or whose history they were stealing or thinking that they were. Okay, so it's just carried on until today. Now, this is no shot at Taharka Bey. Taharka Bey of Moors World TV, that's the homie, we cool. I'm not doing this because of him or a shot at him. I've been on his channel debating Moors and spanking Moors on his channel several years ago. This is not a shot at Taharka Bey. Taharka Bey is my cat, is my guy, okay? That's my nigga, okay? This is not a shot at him. It's just something I felt like doing after watching Dr. Ali Muhammad's presentation. And he doesn't make it clear either, because Dr. Ali Muhammad will leave you thinking that Moors were still Black. I clarified all. Moors were never Black, and people need to stop calling themselves Moors. It's just part of the cult that they were in, and we, you know, and not even more Scientific America people outside of them, just like normal people who consider themselves Caucasians, they still think Moors are black people. I mean, it's insane. And this research is so fucking easy. All you gotta do is fucking move your fingers and find out and look. You don't have to listen to anyone. You don't have to believe anyone. All you got to do is simple fucking research, and the world is at your fingertips on a thing called the internet. The World Wide Web. Okay? So, Moors are not black people. Anybody calling themselves a Moor is just confused and a little brainwashed. It's no shot at Taharka Bey. He didn't know what he was into, and he found that some of us just naively are into things and just don't know any better. So that's why I wanted to make this clarification. And since we're cleaning up things, and since we're cleaning up falsehoods, let's just clean it on all up. Let's clean it all on up. And we're going to get up out of here with some of this Men of Standard.
I shall be clean.
Hey.
Wash me and I, shall be whiter than snow. Create me, a clean heart. Renew a right spirit within me. The source that I need the most. The gift of the Holy Ghost. Lord, hear my plea. Don't hold your spirit from me, 'cause I feel like winter. Feeling like winter. Ever since I went astray, feeling like loneliness. Like loneliness. In the worst way. I'm feeling like heartache. A heart that's about to break. Down on my knees and I'm begging you, renew your right spirit in me. It's kind of
Wait a minute.
somebody
Let
help
me get to my part.
me say no. Out of my mind. Somebody help me say no, yeah. It's kinda chilly in here, yeah. I feel like winter. Yes, I do, yeah. Oh, feel like, yeah. I wanna come back home, yeah. The peace that I had is gone. Oh yeah. The job that I had is gone. It's feeling like the love that I had is feeling like This is what I want you to do, Lord. I want you to make me, yeah. I want you to chill me, thrill me, yeah. Hold me, mold me, control me, yeah. Move me, soothe me, use me. Thank you, Lord. I'm
Coming back.
coming back. Yeah. I've been gone too long. I'm coming back. Yeah. I've been running far too long. I'm coming back. Yeah. Oh, Lord, I'm coming back. Oh, yeah.
That's my shit.
No more feeling like winter. 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 Yeah.
Y'all don't know about no good music. Y'all do not know nothing about no good music.